What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Caro Emerald, as well as a ridiculous Luca who's sleeping like a croissant right below the chair here. But yes, we're back to the Shocking Miss Emerald 2013. Thank you as always to Jim. And the next track is The Wonderful in You, is that right? Yes, The Wonderful in You. So it sounds like it might be part of a larger phrase like, I can see the wonderful in you, or I love the wonderful in you, and perhaps it's suggestive of someone who is maybe more complicated or maybe particularly wonderful, but there's an implicit suggestion that there could be more complicated emotions, but that the wonderful in this person is what stands out, or what matters the most, or is clearly identifiable by the narrator. It sounds like a positive testament to the emotional, sympathetic quality, if not sympathy and reciprocation, to the person, or of the person being spoken about, or spoken to for that matter, given the appearance of the pronoun you. So yeah, given that her songs tend to be more complicated when it comes to emotions or relationships or potential connections to people who are out of reach, or to people who have a complicated nature, I wouldn't be surprised if there's more to it than the positive feeling of the title on the surface of the words. So I'll see what I can pick up on a first listen. This is Caro Emerald, as well as, again, a very ridiculous Luca down here. And the track is The Wonderful in You from the 2013 album The Shocking Miss Emerald.
I don't know why they call you a dame. When you look in the mirror, is it fake?
Maybe the you is her?
He didn't make a difference, you're awake. To him you are untamed. Your reflection is a ruse, the cover can do. Your heart refuses to tell you the truth. That's why, it's why you do it. I can't believe that someone like you surrenders every element of you, and you abuse it. So someone you love, you really love, may never see the wonderful in you. Games, you never seem to tire of his games. The makeup starts to drip, this is insane. Another masquerade, where is the shame? Please forget his name. Hands are ticking on the clock, too tired for a walk. Your heart is desperately trying to find you. Why? It's why you do it. I can't believe that someone like you surrenders every element of you, and you abuse it. So someone you love, you really love, may never see the wonderful in you. Chasing rainbows, he's just thunder that's leaving dark behind. Why? It's why you do it. I can't believe that someone like you surrenders every element of you, and you abuse it. So someone you love, you really love, may never see the wonderful in you.
Sonically, a bit outside what I've come to see is sort of the wheelhouse of Caro's work, at least in these first couple albums, which is to say that synthesis of throwback flavor, big band, jazz vibes, and a bit of modern production, even turntablism. So yeah, it feels a bit more, I don't know if R&B is the right word, but it has this like deep and heavy soulful sound to it. And it feels a bit more like a ballad. Again, maybe sonically that's not quite the right term. But yeah, it doesn't have that energy, that danceability, that, like fun old-time jazz feel to it. And lyrically, I'm really intrigued because, again, on the surface, it sounds like she's talking to someone and maybe appreciating the wonderful in this other person. But then when it starts, she's talking about looking in a mirror, and suddenly it's like, oh, wait, maybe the wonderful in you, she's talking to herself. She's talking to her reflection as a way to process the things in her life and to make herself bear witness to what part of her brain knows is going on. And then I thought, okay, so it may be even more complicated than that. Maybe part of the you is this other person, but she's also addressing herself at the same time. It sounded at first like she's saying this other person doesn't appreciate her, this other person maybe won't commit to her or is pulling away from her and failing to notice the wonderful in you, meaning her, so that, there's a quality, a self-affirmation that is being conferred, that there is a good person in you, even if this other person, this guy, isn't seeing it. But then it sounds, and ultimately part of why I thought that is because she's saying like you're surrendering every element in you to this other person. You're trying to give it all. But then there's a line about like exploiting it, and I was wondering like whether she's saying like her behavior is such that she's actually driving a person away and making them think that she's not great or she's manipulative or somehow taking advantage of them, and that's preventing them from actually seeing that she is a beautiful person, and it's actually a person that she thinks is wonderful. She really loves this other person, but her own behavior and her own persona or appearance is making them recoil and back away and preventing them from seeing the wonderful in you, the reflection, the person that she knows deep down she is. So I feel like, again, it's a complicated emotional sentiment, but yes, if I'm reading the lines that I caught correctly, it sounds like there's a bit of self-introspection and maybe not in the best assessment, or maybe making an assessment that is critical of herself, even as she's also suggesting this other person isn't appreciating who she fully is or who she really is deep down. So yeah, again, it sounds a bit melancholic, it sounds a bit nuanced and complex interpersonally, and emotionally it feels like she's both affirming herself to be a good person but also maybe critiquing herself at the same time. So a really interesting one. Do let me know what you think. I am trying to keep Caro on the radar. For whatever reason, it's a deep dive that falls off for a little bit, and then when I recall it, it's always like, oh, that should have come back a couple weeks earlier. So I will do my best to keep going through this album with a reasonable pace, and there's so many tunes on it. So yeah, it's a very full album. In any case, thank you again to Jim. Let me know what you think. And Luca and I, who has not appeared on camera but who's been here the whole time, we'll see you next time. Peace.